Is DoorDash dead or dying in 2024? So that's the question, the subject of today's video, that as best I can, I'll try to give my opinions, my 2 cents on this topic. Welcome everyone, this is Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and if by chance you're new to the channel, just a little background information on me. I've been DoorDash driving since December 2022. I'm about maybe 60 deliveries away or so from 3,000 lifetime deliveries. I dash in the Southwest Columbus, Ohio market, and I just do DoorDash. I'm not a multi-apper. It's as far as gig work, I only do DoorDash. I have a full-time W-2. It's supposed to be a scheduled 36-hour work week, Saturday, Sunday, and Mondays, but typically I might only see 28 to 30 hours there. And then I do DoorDash Tuesday through Fridays, and typically work about the same amount of hours as I do my W-2. It's about 30 hours with DoorDash. So I work 7 days a week, roughly 60 hours a week. Started this channel in September of last year, September 1st, and the first video was loaded or uploaded October 1st of last year. And as you can see, behind me, I am earlier this year, I was elected to be one of 7 Americans chosen to be on this current term of the DoorDash Community Council. So I'm a current member, as you see, now through June. So how I came about doing this video today, I was a little bit bored earlier and I saw a suggested video on my YouTube homepage with a similar subject to the title of the video than what I titled this one, and I clicked on it. It's about a 10 or 12 minute long video, and some really interesting points in that video where the person talked about how DoorDash is really going downhill for a lot of drivers. They're not making as much money. Talked about oversaturation of drivers in a lot of markets. A lot of drivers have to quit doing this because it's just not sustainable for them anymore. Talked about like catering orders going away, that and various other different things. I clicked on a few other videos, and probably at any given time, there's probably always on YouTube DoorDash is dead videos being posted all the time. But couple other ones I clicked on. One of them, the guy just kind of touched on the subject for the first minute of his video, and then the whole rest of the video was just like a ride along. And then the 2 other videos I clicked on was just clickbait. It was nothing to do with this subject. It was just talking about their DoorDash orders for the day. And basically what I do on my channel, I call it the daily recap or ride along, whatever you want to call it. But that's all those videos were. This video, I'm actually going to give my actual opinion on this subject. It's not clickbait here, folks. So now this, and everything I'm saying here, this is just my own personal opinion, everything based on my experience. So I'm really, at the moment, at least anyway, I'm really not connected with a whole lot of other Dashers. I'm not really connected right now with hardly any other like gig tubers, or I'm not somebody that has all kinds of communication and contact with all different kinds of people. I am in the DoorDash council, but that's, just one meeting a month for an hour and a half is basically what that consists of. So I can only speak to just what I'm doing in my personal experience for whatever it's worth. But having said that, I've been doing very well with DoorDash pretty much since I got on with the platform in December 2022. And everything's been pretty much very good and consistent for me for pretty much the whole entire time. I know, just to give you an example, I've been on YouTube and watching other gig tubers since I first got on with DoorDash. So, and that's what kind of inspired me to create my own channel. But I know I've seen like the negativity from the very beginning when I first got on. And just to give you kind of one example, I started in December, and of course, I worked that first, winter that I did, December 22 through the first couple months of 23. And then, I started watching the videos where all the gig tubers were saying that in the summertime, things would really tail off. And you see a huge dip in the number of orders that you get and the money that you can make. And it's a really get ready because it's going to be dead in the summertime, folks. That type of thing. Well, me personally, in my market, I really didn't see any kind of a change at all. I mean, my numbers stayed pretty much consistent throughout. And like, even to this day, and just to talk about my goals a little bit here, well, I didn't know what to expect when I first got on with the platform. I was hoping for, maybe I could make a couple $100 a month, just a little bit extra money to help me out. I really didn't know what to expect or how much I could make. Well, as I got on to DoorDash, started driving, getting more experience, getting more comfortable, putting in more hours, doing more deliveries and everything, and settled in. Well, what started happening for me was I started having a goal of $100 a day, and which even from the very beginning for me was very obtainable, and doing this 4 days a week. So $400 a week, $1,600 a month. So I was making 8 times what I initially kind of was hoping for. So far exceeding my initial expectations. And like I said, I've been able to maintain that pretty consistently throughout. I Even though I'm a platinum status driver in my market, I still do the scheduling. So I typically schedule 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day, Tuesday through Friday. I typically wake up well before that, and I just get on whenever I wake up and get around and everything in the morning. So it's typically 5:30 to 6:30 a.m., somewhere in that range is when I'll log on. And I work through the breakfast hours, and I like to try to stay logged on at least until around noon, 12:30, 1 range, something like that. And as long as I've made at least about $100 or close to it, if I've done that by 12:30 or 1 o'clock, I usually log off at that point. It's very rarely am I logged in clear until 3. And I haven't had, like I said, I haven't had any problems hitting that goal, and in the same general time frame, around, like I said, 12 to 12:30, since for the last almost year and a half. And fortunately nothing's really changed that much for me. Now, speaking of the catering orders, that was a big change. So it's probably about 2.5 months ago, I got an email saying that from DoorDash saying that in my market, they were replacing the Top Dasher program with the Dasher Rewards. And so it's almost like a switch got flipped, because as soon as Dasher Rewards took over in my market, then that was the end of catering orders for me. I don't think I've got one single catering offer at all in like 2.5 months. Whereas, 6 or 7 months ago, I'd be getting 3 or 4 of those a week on average. And sometimes I'd get 2 or 3 catering offers in a single day. And to go from that to now 0, I mean, something's not right there. And I've heard other drivers talk about that too. But now this is just in my case, that the fact that catering orders have gone away for me, that hasn't for me signaled the end of DoorDash, because what's happened for me, fortunately, is as the catering orders went away, my number of shopping orders has increased. And so that's now where I'm making the bulk of my money with DoorDash, is now through the shopping orders. And it's weird because the first several months I drove, I would hardly receive shopping orders. I'd get these emails from DoorDash: if you complete 7 shop and delivers in a week's time with such and such fill rate, we'll give you top dasher for a week. And I'd see those emails and I'd be like, well, heck, I'm lucky to even receive 7 offers for shopping orders in a week's time, let alone do 7 deliveries. And but anyway, that's changed to where now I do more shopping orders than food orders now. So just for an example, today's dash, let's see, I did 12 deliveries, 3, only 4 of them was like a restaurant delivery. So 8 of the 12 was shopping. So a couple things here. I think number one, like I read, and I also read like a lot of the different comments on those videos I watched earlier today. And I read like a lot of different people commenting on these videos saying that they tried to get on to DoorDash and it just lasted a few days. I signed up, I tried it out for a week, and I wasn't doing hardly anything on there, and that was it for me. I called it quits. Well, I don't know. I just don't think that's really enough time to really see if something is actually going to work out or not. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, you can't give it like a month or something. You only wanted to give it 5 or 6 days, and then that just doesn't seem like enough time to me. I think, and again, this is just my opinion, but another problem I think I see is where people are kind of, in my opinion, setting too strict of like personal like rules and standards like on the orders that they'll take. Like I hear gig tubers on YouTube saying things like, you shouldn't take any orders at all that pay less than $7. Okay, just for an example here. Or, drivers, I won't take anything that's less than such and such dollar amount. Well, I just think that there needs to be more of, in order for, dashers to, or people to get on with DoorDash, get onto a platform, or probably any of these gig apps. I just feel there needs to be more successful, you need to have a little bit more flexibility and not so stringent on like your personal rules. That's just my opinion here, folks. And I think you'll have like a little bit better experience here. I have my set of standards and kind of like rules that I like to go by. But it's not like a law or something like that to where I cannot I will not take an offer less than such and such amount, for instance. I'll take lower paying orders situationally, and if the miles to money is right, and like I said, certain situations, I'll take them. And today's dash, the day I'm recording this, perfect example. So I had $130 today. That was my dash time was 6 hours and 15 minutes, and active time 5 hours 19 minutes. So on my active time, it was right around like $24 an hour or whatever that I made on 12 deliveries. Sounds like a pretty good day, right? Well, not every order out of those 12 was a perfect and great, $10 1 mile order. I took some quote unquote bad orders along with the good. And that's okay because everything kind of averages out. Typically, for me, on a normal typical day, I take a couple bad orders, I get a couple good orders, and guess what? It averages out, and usually I'll have like a decent day. So the two lower paying orders that I had, my very first order was $4.25. I think it was like 3 miles. 3.5 miles, something like that. But I took that from home, and because I'm 3 miles away from any of my pickup locations. So I took this order just to kind of get out of the apartment and get out there and get started on my first order. So it is what it is, $4.25. Picked it up, delivered it, and off I go on my dash this morning. And then the other one was $4.50, another McDonald's. I had an order that I delivered out of zone to the east side, and I was approaching the interstate and about to jump on the interstate to come back to zone when I got this $4.50 2 mile offer for the McDonald's that's out there in that zone. And I'm like, well, why not? I mean, I can knock this out in 15 minutes. I mean, no more than 20 minutes. And this is kind of like what normally is like a slow time in the day for me. So I'll pick up this order and deliver it. It's no harm done. And then deliver that, and then went about the rest of my dash. And like I said, finished with $130. And then also I normally try to shoot for $1 a mile. And so even though I took, and it's the same with like taking longer distance orders than you normally wouldn't take. But hey, the way I look at it, it's okay to here and there, go ahead and take an order that's a little bit higher miles, because everything will average out, or it should. Just obviously don't take all of your orders. Just don't take every single $4 order, and don't take every single order that's like over 10 miles. Just be, situationally take them. And so, like I said, today I took a couple higher mile orders, but everything worked out as far as the total dash goes, because on that $130, all total, I only drove 88 miles. So I was, what is that, 42 miles better than gold today. So that's the thing. If you get on the platform, especially if you're new and they give you the top dasher or platinum status, right for the first week or two, I forget how long they give you. But take advantage of that and get out there. And because you can dash anytime when they're giving you that benefit, get out there, you know, don't decline like every single like bad offer. Don't be like so strict on your rules. Just try to be as flexible as you can and just kind of like roll with it. Roll with the good, roll with the bad. And everything, hopefully should kind of average out. Maybe it won't for everybody. Maybe I'm too optimistic. Again, I can only speak to myself and my own personal experience has been a good one overall with DoorDash. So basically that's where I'm coming from here. But and so, and that's my opinions, my advice for whatever it's worth. But definitely drop a comment below with your thoughts on this subject and how things are going in your market. If were you doing really well and now seeing a drastic change to where you're going to have to get off the platform, or like are you in a market where it's kind of like mine where you've been able to do things, make the same amount of money that you've always made, and things have been consistent and everything. But to answer the question, the title of this video, I don't see DoorDash just like going away tomorrow. I mean, I don't see that. I think it's big enough, it's popular enough that I don't see it. I haven't read or heard or seen anything that leads me to believe that that 6 months from now there's going to be no DoorDash. I mean, you never know, anything's possible, but I just don't see that happening. And like I said, I'm doing well enough that I hope it stays around and this can continue for me for the next several months, maybe even next several years, who knows. And just hopefully, I like to stay optimistic about these types of things. I hope that things continue and positive changes are made and, things can get better. Like I said, I don't really know what's going on with the catering orders, but, for me, shopping orders is increased, and hopefully, shopping orders and other types of orders are pushed more and customers take advantage of these different types of things that DoorDash is trying to implement, and we'll still get the money that we're trying to make when we go out there and do this. So that's the hope and that's the goal. So but anyway, that's my opinions on this subject. Thanks for watching. Make sure, if you're new to the channel, check out my other videos and everything. And as always, be safe out there driving. And until next time, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.